Hello, all, and welcome to a Thursday afternoon beer review, which I am dubbing the COVID recovery beer review. So, my last beer review, remember how I was saying, this beer tastes kind of muted. Nice flavors, a little slightly muted for some whatever reason. And I was also complaining about feeling really peaked and hot. Well, that's because I was coming down with COVID. So, like later that evening, um, you know, all of a sudden I just felt like a truck hit me. And yeah, got tested and it was COVID. And so last week has been unpleasant, to say the least. Less said about COVID, the better. So my sense of smell and taste has returned, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. So I decided yesterday to go and take a brief test. I had two beers, and my God, it knocked me out. I literally crashed hard. I don't know why. It just made me really sleepy, so kind of ruined my sleep. But I could taste it just fine, and so I'm going to be doing a beer review. Just going to have the one beer, and I'm ready to go and take a nap, afternoon nap, right after that, because I think I'm going to need it. But what are we reviewing? We are reviewing something my father gave me. This is New Belgium Citrus Rescue Citrus IPA. It's a collaboration with Imperfect Foods, which is, I believe, a foundation dedicated to the distribution of perfectly edible and usable food products that, for whatever reason, usually cosmetic reasons, have been deemed unfit to be sold. So several thousand oranges deemed unfit to be sold were put into this beer here. So it contains orange juice and orange peel. So I'm expecting a big orange hit here. So this is 6.5 ABV. And by the way, it's actually one of those charitable things that I really support. I really hate food waste to the point that sometimes I'll eat something that I should throw away rather than keep, just because I would rather eat something that's slightly spoiled rather than waste food. So without much further ado, let's just get straight to this, shall we? So the goodbye date on this one is September 9th of 2022. So I'm expecting quite a bit of smell to be still left in this. So a slightly hazy orange yellow. Looks a lot like orange juice, honestly enough. Nicely carbonated with a frothy white head. That is redolent of orange and orange. So juiced orange, complete with the orange peel and orange zest. I'm guessing that the hops chosen for this, lent towards that citrus sensibility there. Because all I'm getting is citrus with a hint of dankness as well. Yeah, so big citrus there. Onto the palate now, shall we? Pretty dry. Almost like a slight champagne note in the mid to finish there. Bitterness is up front, but not overly strong. For For something that has both orange juice and orange peel in it, not very juicy at all. In fact, almost slightly astringent in the long finish. I'm guessing most of those fructose sugars in the orange juice have gotten fermented out. Top note, effervescent top note is very much dried orange peel. No real juiciness there. Not really detectable malts either. Like I said, it's very well attenuated. Not much residual sugars. And the beer I had yesterday, two beers I had yesterday, one of them was a double IPA, so I know I can still taste sugars and malts because that one was the hot bullet, and honestly, it was a bit overly much for me. This one, I wish it just had a little bit more sugar to it. I mean, while that sort of dry champagne, Brut champagne-like note there is kind of pleasant, um, all that dry orange, um, it just comes across as just a little bit too sharp, a little bit too astringent. Feels about right for a 6.5. And is nicely carbonated. As it warms up, it's getting very much an orange zest kind of note. Um, Actually, those are always kind of there. It's just becoming more and more apparent to me right now as it warms up. Yeah. So yeah, honestly, not too much dimensionality to it. If you like orange peel, orange zest, I mean, and nothing much else, though, yeah, I would say maybe it also has like some sort of citron notes to it as well. Let me see here. Yeah, definitely a touch of citron and yuzu as well. More as a top note than on the palate. But again, basically, lots of citrus, very dry citrus. Your mileage is basically going to go on how much you like citrus, especially a dry citrus kind of taste. Um, not quite Seville orange, I have to say, but like if you took a regular orange and removed most of the sweetness from it, which honestly is part of the appeal of an orange. I mean, that's why oranges that aren't sweet aren't really seen as all that appealing. That said, for blemished, scarred, and other imperfect fruits, don't waste them. Use them in a brew, or just eat them normally, like I do. I don't care what they look like when they come off the tree in the backyard. It's how they taste. That's all that matters. Don't waste food. So, Citrus Rescue. Kind of wish it was had more. Well, expecting a lot of depth from it is a little bit asking much because it's so heavy on orange. But I wish there was more residual sugars, so it could be a little bit deeper, a little bit more complex, and a little bit more pleasant by my book. And yeah, your mileage may vary on that. So that is your beer review for this afternoon. Cheers.